For me, being part of Haven of Rest has been a very refreshing experience. Although I've always been an active financial supporter of various charities in the past, what Haven of Rest has afforded me is the opportunity to be on the front line, to come in contact with the direct beneficiaries of the charity, which has been very, very, very high opening for me. It's been very refreshing for me. I guess my interest was ignited a few years back when I came in contact with a book by Dick Leger, The Power of Purpose. I'm sure some of you must have read that book. And in the book, Dick was saying that he interviewed hundreds of people in their 70s and 80s. These are people that have accomplished a lot of things. They are just marking time and ready to pass on. He asked them two very important questions. One, that if they had the opportunity to relive their lives again, what would they do differently? And the second question was that if they had any message to pass to the next generation. The answers they gave were grouped into three different categories according to Dick. And the first category was that they said they would have loved to see the bigger picture. The second category said they would have loved to be more courageous. The third category, and for me the most important category, was that they would have loved to make a difference. That really, really resonated with me, and I felt any opportunity I get, I would really like to use it to touch lives and make a difference in my own little corner. So when I went with Pastor Dipo on this trip to Uganda, I guess it's the first one that we went to some years back, and we were connected to this particular orphanage. I developed a restless enthusiasm towards helping the less privileged. Since then, I've connected with them and I've been supporting them actively, shared the vision with my family, my wife, my children. They became passionate about it, and we've been supporting this particular orphanage. So when the opportunity came for us to start Haven of Rest, I really grabbed it with both hands. I really embraced it because I felt it's a useful tool for us to make a difference, touch lives, shelter the hurting from the storms of life.
This is Ricky. Ricky is 12 years old, grade 7. Grade 7, so he's a graduate as you're watching him. So respect Ricky. And he's also a good footballer, as you can see from his feet. He's been playing around. But the story about Ricky here is that Ricky's dad was a journalist. He worked with the government, and returning from a particular trip with the president, one day there was an accident, and it was a fatal accident. So Ricky's dad lost his life. And although Ricky's dad had a lot of things, houses and things, but when he died, Ricky's dad's family came and took over everything. Ricky's mom and her 6 children found themselves on the street, actually having to beg a living. So that was where Mercy Child found Ricky and the rest of the family, and they brought them here. And today, Ricky and his brothers and sisters are here. Ricky, as you can see, is happy to be here. He belongs in this family now. But Ricky's dream is to be a mechanical engineer. And this is where you can help. Ricky is a very good student. He does very well at school. He enjoys, being in school. He also enjoys going to church. He loves mathematics and the sciences, and is very good in them. All that Ricky needs to fulfill his desire is a sponsor like you. Let God touch your heart to touch your pocket, so you can make a young man's dream come true. And we believe that as his dream come true, God will use him to touch other lives. There are still many other lives that are in that same situation, and maybe even worse, on the streets of Uganda, and maybe even all over the world. But when we know that God will use you to touch Ricky and a lot of the other children here as his sponsors, and God will bless you mightily for the seed that you are sowing.
just come to be a blessing to these children. Most of them, they were children that were orphaned by HIV parents, HIV positive parents, people that had AIDS. But what these orphanage is doing, is reaching out to these children, bringing them together in a house whereby they can grow up in an atmosphere of love, of peace, and they are teaching them God's words. It's made a massive difference to the life of these children. We were talking to some of the children the other time. One of them, David, that is now in US, now in the States. I think he was in the home for 7 years. They saw him through secondary school education, and he's now on scholarship in one of the universities in America. That is the impact that this organization is making in the life of these children. Yesterday, Mr. Pedro and Amanda went to the slum, and they reached out to one little lovely girl, Richard, that gave her life to Christ. That is the essence of this ministry. Believe that what God has started in Rita's life, will continue to be a powerful woman of God. In Jesus' name.
To be honest, it has been quite a moving experience for me. I think one of the things that's really moved me yesterday when we went to visit that family on our way back, I witnessed 5 little children sitting on the side, and I was a bit curious what they were doing. And the tour guide who were with us yesterday was actually explaining to me that they were actually preparing. I'm trying to remember. I think it was grasshoppers. They were actually preparing to eat. Wow. And I'm thinking, what is that really going to? How is that actually going to feel a child? And just to see them sitting on, just on the sidewalk and preparing those grasshoppers, and I'm thinking of so much that's being wasted around the world, and that could make such a difference to the lives of these children. I mean, that really moved me. And I think one of the things about this trip is I know that I cannot remain the same, after this trip, that I don't want to live my life just about me or my family or just those around me. I believe God has called us to be world changers and to touch lives.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our appeal to you is to give generously to this worthy cause. Let's enlist in this great movement, in this army of Smiles Generator. Let's put smiles on the faces of the less privileged. Let's put smiles on the faces of those orphans in the backwood of Africa, families that their lives have been devastated by hurricanes across the Atlantic, people that their lives have been ravaged by war in the Middle East. Please, let's give generously to this worthy cause. You know what? Together, we can do this. We can shelter the hurting from the storms of life and thereby make a difference. Thank you very much.